Good evening, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're moving the cows onto the new farm. Not a new farm, a different farm. Coming from Gordon's over to what we call Cindy's 40. This is part of the lifetime lease. And you can tell from the dust, it's dry. We left to go to Ireland August 31st. And we haven't had a rain since. This is September 16th. And it's been in the 80s and 90s. So what moisture we had is gone. We can still get posts in the ground. So it's not as dry as it was in 2023. 23, you just couldn't hardly get a post in the ground. But man, the cattle look really good. Joel and Isaac just did a masterful job of keeping these cattle moving. And the grass has got more mineralization to it now because it is a drier climate. The grass isn't quite as watery, so they're not eating as much of it. They're getting filled up sooner with less forage. So these are the spring calving cows. There's about 100 of these. And then there's 40 some heifers in here. I think 48. That'll be 15 to, they'd be 16, 17 months old now. Bulls were taken out August 30th, or I'm sorry, the 20th, August 20th. So we left them in for 50 days. But these spring calves have absolutely cranked. It's been a good year, you know. We've had rain when we needed it. It is dry now, but you know, it's Missouri. We can get dry in September. We're hoping we catch something here in the next 2 weeks. If we can catch a rain before the end of September, we can grow 6 to 8 inches of grass in a relatively short period of time. Because the weather will be cooler at night. Got to get out of these 90s though. 90s is what gets you. Cool season grasses don't grow when it's 90. But they've been working on the big blue stem. They did a really masterful job on this Gordon's farm. It was all completely grazed. I mean, they nailed it perfectly. And they took all the big blue stem out and hardly even touched the cool seasons. Tell you what, the calves look good. They really do. You can tell, you know, by looking at your calves that you're feeding your cows good. And the calves all look really nice, plump. They all got good hair coats on them. Very, very limited pink eye this year. I mean, didn't hardly have any of it. So Isaac and Joel have really done a great job of moving these cattle and keeping their animal performance high, even though it didn't rain. The fall calving cows they've got in a separate herd. I think Isaac said there's 40 in that herd. We're gonna go move them next. And now the 40, I think there's 18 of them that's calved. Something like that. Here comes the tail enders. So we just tie ribbons across the road, put a couple posts on it, and that way they can see it. They don't run through that ribbon. I haven't seen a skinny cow come through that gate yet. There's all the calves. Boy, that's a good looking white-faced heifer right there. Red white face. You can tell that rock's a little sharp on their feet. They get back on the ground, then they start walking normal again. You give cows a chance, they won't walk in the rock. They'll find the edge of the ground. Find some ground where there isn't rock. That's it. That's a wrap. Isaac's getting ready to bring the mineral across. Yeah. Look at that. I'll let you get those untied, Joel. While we were gone, this all got done. So these are the bales that we buy each year from our hay contractor. And Joel and Isaac put them all on post. Of course, we got them fenced off. But they're spaced the right distance apart so we can just back in with our baling roller and an ATV. And we don't make ruts. We never make any ruts in the wintertime because we don't have a tractor out here. Just back in and grab you one and take off with it. But you know, keep a 6 to 8 inch log underneath the bottom of them. They don't rot. That's what these are. Those logs are on 20 inch centers, 20 to 22 inch centers. And it just works good. I always put them uphill so you can grab onto them and going downhill with them. And yeah, there's some really nice feed in here. Got some Korean Lespedeza in here. There's some summer annuals. Stick tight. Stick tight's a good one. This one right here. Really high protein. It is a legume. It fixes nitrogen, and the cows love it. There they are. So they'll be on this ridge tonight, and the boys have already got another paddock put in front of them for in the morning. So there's plenty to eat here for an 8-hour period, and then they'll get moved forward. So yeah, keep them moving, even in a drought. You know, when it gets dry, just because it gets dry, you don't just stop moving them and give up. Keep moving them, and when the rains do return, you haven't grazed your grass off to the bare nubs, and you get a rain, you'll get some really nice regrowth in a pretty quick, timely order. But you take this down really short, you're just not going to get anything to come back. It's just the way it works. So if we were taking this all completely off here, we wouldn't be raising any grass on here for probably, well, this is September. We wouldn't have any grass on here till May next year, which is, I think, not the way to go. If you got land, why not graze it? If you graze it correctly, it'll regrow. You got to leave something sticking up, folks. There's a lot of different strategies out there, and I'm not going to get into all that, but we like to leave a solar collector, and you can see the proof. I just came across that road. Them cows are performing, and so are the calves. So it all comes down to getting your cows bred back and raising a calf every year on grass without feeding any cake. This cottonseed cake or soybean, they got these soybean millings now, they call it. Soybean pellets. There's another one called corn gluten. All these supplementations, you can make those cows just as fat as you want, depending on how deep your pockets are. So if you want to feed up all your profit to that cow herd down there, by feeding all these supplements because your grass is not giving them what they need because you're not grazing right, well, that's a really good way to go broke. So I'll just leave it at that. If you want to make money, leave a solar collector intact to collect sunlight, and it also holds moisture. It keeps the sun from burning up your soil because you didn't take it all, and life is good. You can make a living on the land. You know, we've been having people tell us for the last 25 years, you know, what Greg you're doing there might work right now, but in a couple years you're going to be thrown out of the business. You can't do that. It doesn't work. And I'm like, well, say what you want. A lot of those people that were making fun and pointing fingers at us, they're no longer in the cattle business today. So proof is in the pudding, and I think that's an old wise tale saying. Proof is in the pudding. We've got the proof. It's right there on that ridge, and those cattle are healthy. Even though we haven't had any rain, folks, we got neighbors. They're taking it to the dirt, and this is September. You got September, October, November, December, January, February, March. That's 7 months. They're gonna be feeding hay for 7 months? Are you kidding me? You can't do that. Heck, we probably won't start feeding hay till sometime in January. Which, you know, we still got another 3 months of grazing at least. Maybe 4 if we get a rain, because we left some out here. So I'm gonna get out here. Folks, y'all are looking for some sheep. We got them. They're on our website, greenpasturesfarm.net. And we're gonna be auctioning some with some guard dogs. And there's also some rams available as well. So some really good doing sheep, easy, low maintenance type sheep. And if you're interested, go to greenpasturesfarm.net. We'll see you next time.